Hello and welcome to See If It Sticks, the only podcast that takes your first world problems with one thing. Ross is doing a weird thing. Right, I'm going to start again. Takes your first world problems, puts them in a bath. A lovely warm bath, soaps them down, scrubs them clean, and out they come, a shiny, shiny new solution, exfoliated and ready for work. I'm Dom.
I'm Ross.
And I'm Dan.
Welcome. Ross is back from his banishment this week.
Am I allowed?
Well, I don't know. Perhaps you should beg.
Only if you answer us these questions three.
Yeah.
Where did you go? How was it? And
went to the Orient. It was warm. No, thank you.
I see. Did you eat various and sundry exotic cuisines?
They love a chicken's foot.
Do they?
And they like all the shit bits of the meat,
who
like
doesn't?
the fish's head, rather than the fish's body. And
how was that?
You can have your intestines larger or smaller intestines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't for me. I had McDonald's a lot.
Oh, I see. They have McDonald's.
They have McDonald's, yeah. It's very close to home as well. Except
really?
they do like fish paste burgers and weird.
Well, they do have a lot of seafood.
They love a bit of seafood
over in the Far East, don't
Does anyone, have you ever, in the entire time you've ever been to McDonald's, ever bought a fillet of fish?
No,
Not
but I know
once.
people that religiously eat fillet of fish.
Really?
Yeah.
Fish fillet.
It's
What's
the square
your-
one, right? The one that comes out as a square.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I've seen. There were the guys where I was away with would eat fillet of fish
How strange.
each time.
Fillet of fish head.
Fillet of fish head, yeah. Fish head soup.
Lovely.
Yeah.
You are allowed back in our good graces.
Thank you. Am I getting kicked out next week, though?
Just before we went live, Ross actually performed the acts which he had to do to be allowed back into the cult. So
A hellish amount of
if Ross stops talking halfway through this podcast,
Trying to hold down some jizz.
I was going to say it's because his jaw was aching, but you went there.
Thanks for that, mate.
I always go there.
I do have some bad news for you, though, Ross.
How can there be any bad news? I haven't been here.
All the Dan mail is bad news for you. It's basically just this segment shouldn't even be called Dan mail. It should be called
We hate Ross?
Yes.
Yeah?
Should be
Okay.
called Fuck You, Gilbert.
So
Alright. Throw it at me. Lay it on me.
yeah, okay.
I'm ready. I've
Um,
had 3 weeks to prepare.
so
Uranus.
we've got a couple of little comments here from Steve Wynn. First one says, we need a short podcast now of Dom and Dan doing No Limits a cappella again, but the full tune, I want it as my ringtone. It was awesome.
Oh, okay.
We can arrange that for him and email it over.
Should we just do it now and you can use editing software for yourself?
Which bit are you going to do? Are you going to do the singing or are you going to do the guitars and drums?
You should do the guitars and drums. You're the musician.
Okay.
I'll do the radio. No, there's no limit.
Techno. You could have come in with some drums, Ross.
I didn't sound like I was fucking invited, did it?
There's no limit, we'll reach for the sky. No ocean too deep, no mountain too high. And then it's the techno bit.
I just thought I'd do an
radio
abridged
edit.
version.
A radio edit. That's a good idea.
Sorry, Ross. Got another one coming for you.
Well, I'm ready.
Who's this from?
Steve Wynn again.
Oh,
It's
Clean for
Brill.
me.
it's a double win. Woo.
It's Brill with you three guys. Don't get me wrong. But Lauren, who we had on the show to replace you a couple of weeks back,
Yes.
makes an amazing 4th edition and breaks up the sausage fest. She's funny and should be a regular. In fact, maybe just get rid of Ross.
Oh, he just put that right in there, didn't he? Didn't have to say that. He
put
started
the
off
boot
so
in.
well. He started off so well.
Put the boot in.
I did already read it. I read it when it came through, and I was in the Orient when I read it.
Did you read it?
Yeah, because it doesn't say that at the end. I'm well aware it doesn't say that at the end.
Did you read it, Ross?
Yeah.
Bad news, the third, Ross.
Well, unfortunately, we can't have a 4th guest because we can only afford 3 microphones.
Yeah, if you want to donate.
And Lauren can only attend irregularly.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she got a lot of love last time she was on when I was away, and
She did,
filled in
didn't
for
she?
me.
Yeah.
I think people like a bit of Lauren.
I
in their lives.
think they like a bit of a feminine presence. I think maybe
You never
She
know.
has a very sexy voice, though.
You never
doesn't
know.
she?
You might see more of her soon.
Yes.
Hear more of her soon.
Yes, because they had never seen her.
They won't. Well, no, they won't.
No, they
never
wouldn't
seen
have done.
her.
No. Some more bad news for you, Ross.
Oh, God.
As our resident,
I don't know what this one is now.
As our resident tech guy, the man responsible for stickitpod.com, Jesus Jaffa, has got in contact.
Jesus Jaffa. What a name.
Jesus Jaffa. Oh, I saw.
On the email, Jesus Jaffa from Calcutta. He wishes us well. He says, "How are you? Hope you're fine. I've been checking on your website quite often, so obviously a repeat listener.
I wouldn't bother. There's not much on there.
It has seen that the main keywords are still not in the top 10 rank, which we've been whinging on at you about for how long now, Dom?
What keywords? What are you talking about?
It says the main keywords are not in the main keywords are not in the top 10 rank.
Come on, Ross. The main
I
keyword.
don't even know what he's fucking
He
talking
doesn't know
about.
what he's talking about.
I know what keywords
I thought you were a
are.
fucking web developer.
Oh?
The main keywords.
I'm an LED technician.
You know things of working. I mean, the procedure of working has changed a lot. It's
Come on,
basically what I've been saying to you. I've been calling you up. How many times have I called you up now and said, I mean, the procedure of working has changed a lot. So I would like to have opportunity to work with you, and this time we will bring the keywords to the top 10 spot with guaranteed period.
Of course, yeah.
Which is basically what you've been promising.
I did say that
You've
I would
been
bring them-
promising a guaranteed period for a long time.
I have been, yeah.
There is no wondering that it is now possible because I have found out that there are a few things need to be done for better performances. Some we discuss in this email. Let me tell you some of them. Now, this is it's almost as if he's hacked into my computer and gone through my emails to you, Ross. Title tag optimization, meta tag optimization, description keyword, and etc.
These are all the words you use, Dan.
The
when you
main
email me.
keywords.
Heading tags optimization. The custom 404 page is missing. Did you know that?
Is it?
Yeah.
The 404 page. This is bush league.
Sorry.
Ross.
WordPress is not installed properly in the blogs.
WordPress isn't fucking installed at all.
But it's not installed properly in the blogs, Ross.
The
We don't have a blog.
the favicon needs to be changed too.
No, I've done the favicon. The favicon is fucking done. He can suck my dick. The favicon is done.
Fuck you, Jesus Jaffa.
And what-
The favicon is done.
And what about the off white question mark in a black diamond page SEO work, Ross?
Yeah, I haven't done that.
You can
Whatever
see
the diamond
you can see
question
these are the
mark.
things that need to be changed. Just let him know.
Just let him know.
If you encounter any problems or if there's anything you need. If this email has reached you by mistake or you do not wish to take advantage of this free advertising opportunity, which we do, Jesus, please accept my apology for any inconvenience caused and rest assured that you will not be contacted again.
Oh.
This is an advertisement and a promotional mail strictly on the guidelines of Can Spam Act of 2003, apparently. The famous Can Spam Act of 2003.
Well, Mr. Jaffa,
he goes,
we do
well, he
appreciate
goes on.
He goes on a lot. He goes on a lot,
Yeah.
then.
Well, Mr. Jaffa has been rather cruel to the website, but yeah,
They
no.
found our mail through our own efforts on the web search and not through any illegal way, Ross. So he's on the level.
yeah,
You can know this is a guy you can trust, especially with a name like Jesus.
yeah.
He just
I mean, who
immediately-
else can you trust if you can't trust Jesus?
He wants to
Exactly.
give you rank on these keywords, Ross.
There are keywords in there. I don't know how the ranking works, but I put keywords in there.
Did you put the main keywords in
I
there?
put the
though?
main keywords in there, Dan. As you asked, repeatedly. And the favicons fucking done, I'm telling you that much. 'cause
Is it? Oh, please tell me it's like a little picture of us.
It is. It's a little circle of
Is it?
us, yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, it's done.
We should get seasonal ones.
So it changes.
Yeah.
You don't see it because you don't go on Libsyn that much, do you? Our hosting for this podcast, but they change their little icon to like whatever the season is, like a little pumpkin head
That's
man.
nice. We should do that.
Oh,
We
that's
should do that.
nice.
Do that when you add the main 10 keywords.
Yes, and then
And
get us pushed up the rankings.
yes, I haven't searched for See If
The
It Sticks podcast on Google for a while, but
The
we
internet
must come up,
rankings.
right?
Well,
According to Jesus Jaffa.
We're not top 10.
I don't know anymore, Ross. I mean, the procedure of working has changed a lot.
It has.
You know,
Period.
You know that, and I know that.
Yeah.
But with the main keywords, I think, and the edition of the Missing 404 page, I think we'd be all right.
And he has been checking the website quite often.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, it's a regular listener, so now we've got a listener in Calcutta as well.
I think we already do have listeners in Calcutta. We've got them all in weird places.
They need to be done for better performance.
They do need to be done for better performance, yeah.
Well then, Jesus Jaffa, please send us more of your
I mean, thank God it's free.
unsolicited web search.
Unsolicited sounds like it's dodgy, Dom, but if I'm remembering the Can Spam Act of 2003 correctly,
Firstly,
this is perfectly legal.
and spam should always be kept in a can.
Yes.
Yes.
Does
Can
spam need fridging? It doesn't, does it?
It doesn't.
I think
No.
so. It's like a fried Bentos pie.
Any meat that doesn't need putting in the fridge. It's a bit weird
I
for
don't
me.
trust it.
No, I don't
No.
trust it.
Likewise,
Except for a fried Bentos pie.
I don't particularly trust cheese in a tube either.
Nope. I
don't really trust any meat, dairy, any food product that is in an unusual storage container. Cheese in a tube, meat in a can.
Tomatoes in a stasis vault.
Correct. Yeah.
I wouldn't trust them either.
I was saying to you while Ross was away, wasn't I? Like, because you just cannot get regular tomatoes now without going to the stasis vault.
That's very true. That's
It's a long
very
way
true.
to go.
Well, I'm sure we'll get one for the mansion sometime soon.
Yes.
That'll be fine. Right then, Ross, I believe you.
Is that all of my hate mail?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You.
Apart from these ones that I've scribbled down on a piece of paper in crayon.
Ross, you suck. Boo.
I mean, the procedure of working has changed.
It
Boo.
has, period.
So, I believe for your penance, you must read the problem this week. Although
Read.
I always thought that reading the problem was like a real honour and a privilege, but now
this week
like
it's a punishment. Next week it will be a privilege.
Okay, that's good. It's good how these things come back around.
I mean, the procedure of working has changed a lot,
It has. I mean,
Since
now
you
this
have-
is a punishment.
even since you've been
Period.
away.
Yeah.
This is from the bald marshal of the Mudder, Jamie Linney himself. My problem this week is something that hasn't been talked about yet. When a film is made from a book and the actor playing the character, if fuck all like that doesn't make any sense.
I think it's possibly a mistype.
Yeah, looks fuck all like they should be. Yeah, the word "look" isn't in there, but I'll add it in. So the character playing the actor playing the character.
And in main keywords to this. But you can't do it. But you can't do it to the fucking website.
Like is a key word. My example is Jack Reacher. I'm a huge fan of the books. I've read all 20 of them. There's 20 Jack Reacher books.
20 Jack Reacher books.
Fucking
Are they
hell.
books or comics?
No, books, I think.
They're
Are they?
like Andy McNab books, are they? There are fucking loads of them.
Bravo T0.
I even like the film, and the second looks good too. But when Jack Reacher is described in many of the books as being 6 feet 5 inches tall, weighing 210 to 250 pounds, and having a 50-inch chest and a 4-inch dick, he's always, no, it doesn't say that.
Ross is adding non-keywords. Lock words.
He is obviously a man beast. And who do they get in to play him? Little dwarf Tom Cruise. Now, I like him as an actor, but he's definitely no Jack Reacher. Even the true fans accuse Lee Child, who wrote the books, of selling out the character for money. You decide. This may not be a problem you can solve, but it's one of my niggles, and I'm sure you have a similar issues with certain films. Cheers, boys. Bald Marshal of the Mudder.
Well then,
Films. He's got us onto films. This could be a long one.
this could be a long one.
It does happen often, doesn't it?
The biggest problem I have, and I haven't read many books, but there's one book that I really love, and that is Christ, I Am Legend.
Okay.
Right? That is a tall blonde man. And who do they get
get into this?
Okay.
Who do they get to play him? Will Smith. They go for a very long
he's
description
quite-
of him
he's
having
quite-
long
he's quite
blonde
tall.
hair. He's not
I'm
blonde though, is he?
I'm not
He's
sure.
not blonde, is he, Dan?
You could dye his hair blonde.
He didn't know, did he?
What are you getting at here, Ross?
He doesn't look like a tall blonde man.
He's quite tall.
He's not blonde though, is he?
The only thing he doesn't have is the blonde hair.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
But he's got a shaved head in it, so you can't even tell what colour his hair is. Ross.
His hair could be blonde, I guess, yeah, when it grows
Yeah.
out.
Good.
Yeah.
You like I Am Legend, though?
I love the book, hate the film. Yeah.
Didn't
Not
they change
purely
the ending of the film?
They changed the fucking ending. That's
Yeah.
why I don't like it, yeah. But
That's another problem with people selling books.
like completely
to
changed it. from the awesome ending to the really, really bad ending.
So, spoilers, what is the real ending?
The real ending is he gets captured he gets lured by this lady vampire. And he in the film he meets that lady, but she turns out to be human, doesn't she? Well, in the book she's actually a vampire, and she's been brought in to lure him out, but she actually falls a little bit in love with him. And then they finally capture him.
They're basically zombies in the film.
They are, yeah, and these ones are quite rational in the book. They're quite, they think like humans, but they just want blood. But they get him.
Blah, blah.
Yeah, I want your blood.
Blah blah blah.
And have an insatiable need to count things.
Well, they capture him and put him in a prison cell, and they're basically having a big parade outside for the killing of this guy.
Right.
Because he is like to us, a vampire is a legend.
Right.
It's just this beast that goes around in the night killing people and taking their blood and stuff. He has become the legend because he's the guy that goes around during the day on his own, killing out the vampires one by one. So
okay.
he's like,
He's the monster to them.
Yeah.
Right.
He's the myth.
I
the
am
monster,
legend.
The man.
And the last line
Plot twist.
last line in the book, he says, I am legend.
Yeah.
Which is the ending of the thing.
Well, they kill him.
Yeah, they don't kill him in the book, but he's there waiting to be executed. You're assuming that that's what happened.
And in the film, if I remember rightly, he escapes out of a chimney by throwing a grenade in a room.
And he uses the word "I am legend" as something else, something
So
completely different.
So basically, the whole point of the book is
that he has become a legend because he is.
So basically, they've taken away the entire meaning of the book.
The whole fucking meaning of the book. Yeah,
to make a film where Will Smith blows fuckers up.
Yeah, I think they were lining him up for a sequel. I think they thought it was going to do better than it did.
I haven't seen it.
Don't bother. Read the book. It's very short.
Just heard the synopsis now, so
you'll read the book in a day. It's very short.
See,
right.
I'm going to talk about the complete opposite of that.
Go on.
Where they've cast an actor where the character is open to interpretation. So I'm a big fan of Stephen King's Dark Tower series, the Gunslinger books.
Yep.
And they've cast Idris Elba as the gunslinger.
Yeah.
And people are up in arms because they all imagined the gunslinger.
Is he described?
No, he's never fully described.
So,
he's just sort of described as a worn down, grizzled man. He could be fucking pink.
Idris is pretty worn down and grizzled.
He could be fucking orange, for all people know.
Yeah.
It's called what's his name? People are going to lynch me for this. Ronald? No. Something. It's like a Roland the Gunslinger is the main character's name. And he's never fully described as being white or black or whatever, or any sort of ethnicity. And I think, when I think about Roland the Gunslinger, I think of a different guy, because everyone thinks of different.
Yeah, everyone's got a different image
But
in
actually,
their head.
now that Idris Elba's been cast as him, I'm sort of sitting there going, actually, I could deal with that.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about the opposite, where interpretation yields a decent moment of casting.
The Joker in The Dark Knight. Do you remember the uproar when Heath Ledger got cast as the Joker in The Dark Knight?
And now look at what happens.
Yeah. Obviously, incredible film.
Yep.
Great performance.
Yeah. It's not always bad, because I remember when that happened and I thought, oh, for fuck's sake.
But that's a very visual medium being translated into another visual medium, whereas a novel, a book, is completely subjective.
Because do you not think that Jared Leto looks a lot more like the cartoon version than Heath Ledger ever did?
Yeah, apart from the dumb tattoos.
Yeah.
And the funny teeth.
I'm yet to watch Suicide
still haven't
Squad.
watched it. Yeah, I've got it.
You know what, Suicide Squad?
No.
It's good. I thought he was a good Joker.
I saw so many bad reviews, and I'm just not sure. There's been a real stint of bad DC films.
I'm going to say it. I preferred him to Heath Ledger.
Oh, Ross.
I've said it. It's out there now.
It's lucky
I've seen clips of him doing.
It's lucky he's not coming back next week.
Yeah. I felt him banished again.
Guess what?
I know.
I'm trying to think of a book that I've read where a casting has gone completely awry for me. Because Lord of the Rings, the casting was relatively on point for me.
Yeah.
From the book.
Maddie, my girlfriend, recently has taken issue with. She's been reading American Gods.
That's a book I very much enjoy myself.
By Neil Gaiman. In fact, I've just started it.
What do you think so far?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's where it's kind of weird because it's kind of like it's just sort of like plodding along, and then all of a sudden it just goes boom. They're on this like carousel,
They're on the carousel,
and then everything just gets a bit fucking
trippy.
And I thought, okay,
Yeah.
you don't get eased into it.
No,
do you? You don't.
No, it's a sort of like it's a road trip, and then it's like fuck no, the gods, and it's just like
yeah. So like obviously there are characters in that Maddie has got sort of very, because none of them are ever particularly described. Some of them are described better than others.
Yeah.
She's got very particular images in her head, and then they've just cast the TV
Particularly
series,
about Wednesday, I imagine.
I think more like, I mean, I'm finding as well because the guy that they've cast as Shadow is the guy from Hollyoaks.
Yes.
Who is kind of like a medium-sized chap.
Where Shadow is described as
being absolutely huge, like very intimidating looking.
Do you not think he's going to get on the roids and pump himself?
Well, no, we've already seen screenshots.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, he's already done.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't seem.
He's not a small guy by any means. He's a guy, but
like the whole thing is
he's a bodybuilder.
Like, you know, he's kind of like you know, this like sort of taken on as almost like a kind of a weird at this point. I don't know if it goes any further, but like, you know, he's almost like kind of this guy's muscle sort of thing, like a guy to kind of drive him and stand next to him, and it's all a bit like, you know,
it's like there's a shortage of giant guys out there they could have got.
But there's only so many fucking films and TV shows that Idris Elba can be in.
No.
Because
Idris Elba's not that giant. I mean,
no.
When I think of Shadow, because basically as a character, like he goes to prison, but before he went to prison, he was like a trainer at a bodybuilding gym. So, like, you can imagine.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
And he's been in prison as well.
The problem is, though, is I've been listening to the audiobook of
on Audible.
Yeah.
Is it the 10th anniversary one?
Yes.
With the little preface by Neil Gaiman.
Yes.
Oh, I love his voice.
But the voice...
Hello, I'm Neil Gaiman.
The voice of Shadow in it
is
such a kind of relaxed...
it's really smooth.
Kind of like smooth voice. And he has exactly the same voice as Mike Coulter that plays Luke Cage in Luke Cage.
Yeah. I was going to say,
so now all I have in my head when this is panning out, when I'm,
do you know what? Funny enough, when I saw the guy who played Luke Cage, I was like, I could go with that.
Maddie wanted Matthew Good as Wednesday, Ozymandias from Watchmen.
Too young. He needs to be old.
But
I like Ian McShane, but I think they could have chosen an older man.
But yeah, like, so now thing is in my head, because obviously like as the reason I started listening to it, because I don't read or even really listen to a lot of fiction other than comic books. But Maddie said that obviously it's Neil Gaiman, who has a bit of a name in comic books anyway, for, you know, Swamp Thing,
Sandman. I fucking love Sandman. Trippy as shit.
So like,
that's one of those never can be made into a film comics because it's just too weird.
Yeah. Well, they're trying though.
They've tried.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's attached to it or something.
Do you know what? He'd be a really good dream. Actually, I
still need to read Sandman. The amount of times our friend Dean has lent me the first collected Sandman thing,
like the thick first volume of like the first half of it, because you know there's like 3 volumes of it.
Yeah,
where they're big leather-bound books. I've got the first volume of that.
Sounds glorious.
Hardback. It's great.
I'll have to. I will have to read it. But Maddie said it was very sort of descriptive, and it's like really sort of like, you know, lots of images.
It's amazing.
So I thought I would listen to
one of my favourite books of all time.
Thought I would listen to American Gods. But yeah, so the problem is that now when I'm sort of like picturing the scene, because you hear Shadow at the same time as he's kind of described.
Yeah.
Where his voice is so similar to Mike Coulter's, all I picture in my head is Mike Coulter. It's essentially Luke Cage.
Yeah.
So now I've got this issue where, like, now I've got a problem with the casting because all I can picture in my head is this smooth, relaxed, giant Luke Cage-looking dude.
Have you met Mr. Nancy yet? Nancy, you must have done because you're at the carousel bit.
Yes.
So
I'm picturing Patrick from EastEnders.
Yeah, but there's a book, a sort of semi-sequel to American Gods called Anansi Boys, which is about his sons.
Right.
And it's voiced by Lenny Henry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
That'd be, that would be better if I liked Lenny Henry.
I think Lenny Henry's whole shtick lends itself to him, though.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I've been brought up in a very anti-Henry household.
My
dad hates him.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't mind him. I think Premier Inn adverts can go take a run, but...
So yeah, it is a real problem, isn't it? Like when someone, you feel so strongly about a character.
I suppose even comics, actually, because characters are drawn a certain way in comics. Yeah. And
is Tony Stark Robert Downey Jr.?
No, actually, Tony Stark looked like Robert Downey Jr. before Robert Downey Jr. played Tony Stark. Robert Downey Jr. became Tony Stark.
Right.
Yeah.
More than anything else. It was very fortunate that Robert Downey Jr. has the same sort of facial setup as Tony Stark has always had. But the thing is about Tony Stark in the comic books is he's much more muscular.
Yeah.
Where Robert Downey Jr. is a relatively slight man, isn't he?
Yeah, but
he's not in bad shape. But
I'd take that for his age. He's got to be in his 50s now.
Yeah,
right?
True enough.
Or he's got to be pushing.
But he's
50.
no Hugh Jackman though.
No.
But Hugh Jackman
has got more. Hugh Jackman has got more ripped the older he's got. Somehow, you might see him in the first Wolverine, you think that's a tiny Wolverine. Now you see him, you think, fuck me.
But the problem is Wolverine's. But the thing is, Hugh Jackman's too tall to be Wolverine because Wolverine's supposed to be like Danny DeVito size.
Is he?
I thought he was taller than that.
No, he's quite short. Well, he's relatively not Danny DeVito size, but he's supposed to be like 5 foot something. He's not supposed to be a big.
My height, stocky.
No, shorter than you.
Just like
really?
In the originally,
finally someone
originally like Wolverine because that's why he's called the Wolverine because he's like a little scrappy.
Yeah,
like,
but I
weasel.
thought I always pictured him as kind of being like about my height, but obviously just fucking massive.
No, I don't know. Like in relation to all the other X-Men, because I remember, when you're a kid and you get like trading cards with like superheroes on, it always gives you their like top trump stats.
Oh yeah,
He was always really, really short.
Adamantium penis.
Adamantium dick. I think his cartilage was infused with adamantium. We'll never know. This is a Kevin,
be good though.
This is a Kevin Smith type argument about
that would be good though if he just like
dick.
Every time he got an erection, just sort of went snick.
Cut a little hole in his trousers.
yeah.
Again.
Has anyone seen the trailer for Logan?
Yeah, it looks great.
I lost interest in X-Men a few movies ago.
I think this is like
a little bit different.
This is like Hugh Jackman. I want to do an artsy superhero film for my last outing as Wolverine.
Yeah.
It's got Johnny Cash's "I Hurt Myself Again."
Oh really?
Basically, it's the old man Logan storyline, which is, in my opinion, the best Wolverine storyline.
So in lots of people's opinions, it's Mark Millar, isn't it?
Yes, Mark Millar, yeah. And he's basically so old. He's basically the last mutant. But bar a few.
Yeah.
But he's one of the last mutants because he ages slowly.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? I was kind of reading that like the plot is that the kind of like the United States has got sort of like different territories, and one of them is sort of like the Hulks.
Yeah.
Is like have like taken over one sort of like side of the states, and one part of it is like the Kingpin has taken over a load of territory, and then I can't remember what the others were.
Yeah. But it's pretty good. I'm looking forward to it.
I'll give it a go.
Because I didn't like the first Wolverine. I don't think anybody liked the first the Origins one where he had the CGI claws.
It's a bit like
the second one was passable.
It's a bit like the Dark Knight Returns. That's how I sort of like gauge it. That like it is kind of based in a regular comic book reality, but it's kind of like a little bit different. Move time on a bit. It's kind of like it's not quite like Elseworlds or anything like that, but it's kind of like a different story.
This could happen.
Yeah. But again, that's like another thing, isn't it? Like like Hugh Jackman has kind of become like that character.
Yeah, it's like in the Ultimate series of Marvel, Nick Fury is Samuel L. Jackson in that particular series.
Yeah,
they changed him completely to become Samuel L. Jackson, and like they even make the joke at some point because it was before Samuel L. Jackson was cast as Nick Fury,
right?
And they made him look like Samuel L. Jackson. And they're talking about, this is sort of a little bit just before Iron Man 1 came out and you saw him at the end. They're sort of all saying, who would play you, Thor? And he's like, I don't know, blah, 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 someone. They go, what about you, Fury? And he goes, Samuel L. Jackson, obviously. And like that obviously informed their decision who they cast. But it's interesting. I don't know how we'd solve this issue.
I've kind of got a solution.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I feel like that I feel like a lot of this property, like the comics and stuff, they're almost owned by the fans, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, the way that there's way more interest from the fans than there ever is from the people who made it in the first place, and I feel like it should be up to the fans to choose. I think there should be a voting
this is something you're going to
Like
have
an
fans
X
should cast
Factor,
it.
but for like
the
who
fans
shall
should coast it. Even online, the fans should cast the
This
film.
is something that we have to be treated extremely sensitively, though, because let's not forget that not 3 or 4 months ago, a boat got christened Boaty McBoatface because of an online poll to vote for the name of the boat, and then one website gets hold of it, people go there and they vote for Boaty McBoatface.
Remember that.
Hilarious.
So it's like, who's going to be your next Superman?
Danny
Is it
DeVito.
gonna be, and then it becomes Danny DeVito.
I would want to see that though.
I
That
would wanna
film, I
see
would
that.
go to the cinema.
Frank Reynolds as Superman.
Coming out of the sofa, like getting into the sofa and coming back out again to change.
Don't go in the crease.
Picking his
Attacking people with his toe knife.
picking his toes with his toe knife. Yeah. Yeah. I just think like.
Buying for.
No, obviously, it's if someone ridiculous gets in, then they're never going to cast Danny DeVito as Superman. But
No.
but for like realistic,
Truth, Justice, and Rum Ham.
That's the name of the
I love that
podcast.
series.
Truth, Justice, and Rum Ham.
Yeah.
I just feel like the fans could vote, even if they were just given a choice of
Like 4 people that they sort of go, well,
Or-
we're thinking about these 4.
or like
These are their
like
screen tests.
especially for books as well, like where there could be such a broad range of people because it's the way you interpret it. Like you said, that the one you were talking about earlier, it doesn't have a description,
No.
so that could be anybody playing that role, but there must be a majority of people who think a certain person
Thing
should play it.
is they kind of don't do themselves any favours though, do they? Because if Jamie says that Jack Reacher was described as being 6'5", let's ignore some of that. Let's ignore the 50-inch chest.
Yeah.
And let's just go for 6'5", which is really the main problem with Tom Cruise there, isn't it? Because he's not a small guy build-wise.
No,
he's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
But he is like 5.
We've said pretty good shape on this podcast, this particular podcast, more than we said that guy's in pretty good shape.
This is Man Crush Hour.
Yeah,
Let's see if it
this is
sticks.
like see if it sticks. Grinder edition.
It's me crushing over Mike Coulter.
Yeah.
But yeah, his main problem is that he is 5'0", right?
Yeah.
But Ian McKellen in The Hobbit,
Yeah.
he's not that big. All the hobbits aren't that small.
No.
Yeah, they did something visually to make it seem like Ian McKellen as Gandalf was much taller than those hobbits. So why don't they just shoot Tom Cruise to make him look like he's fucking 6.5
Well, they
foot?
do. They do
Stand him
shoot.
on the
They
Yellow
do
Pages.
shoot him like that, though, don't they? The preponderance of like
He's a
on
lot
the floor,
smaller than he looks.
Looking up shots in Tom Cruise films is.
Oh yeah, I know
insane.
that. But if you're taking someone who's 5'4" to 6'4", that is a big stretch.
About this much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you got someone who was just around 6 foot, I think it'd be better. It's just because Tom Cruise
He's so little.
is so small. Is quite a short.
And I think
man.
the thing is, actually, it's kind of a problem as well that even if you do shoot it so that Tom Cruise looks like he's 6.5 foot tall in a film, everyone knows that Tom Cruise isn't. So you see it and you still see little dinky Tom Cruise.
Yeah, but looking like a giant in like a model world.
Yeah. I guess that is an issue.
That is
Yeah, it
the
doesn't
issue.
matter how big you blow up Tom Cruise. I'd always think of him as small.
Yeah. And he is tiny.
Yeah.
He's a very tiny man.
So, yeah, I mean, some sort of voting system.
I like that. I kind of like that. But the problem is problem with fans is they're always flavors of the month with people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like, I can't remember any.
Cumberbatch.
I can't. Yeah, like he has to be in everything. I haven't seen Doctor Strange yet, but I've heard
haven't,
good
actually.
things.
But Benedict Cumberbatch.
But he can't do a Boston accent. So
No.
why was he in Black Mass?
That was terrible, wasn't it? Him in Black Mass.
Wow, it's me, Benedict Cumberbatch, doing a Boston accent.
Well, I thought that when I saw the trailers for Doctor Strange, because I would have thought, because Benedict Cumberbatch does actually look a little bit like Stephen Strange.
Yeah, gotcha.
Once you put the
goatee on him.
the goatee on
Yeah.
him, and put him in his fucking Zen cape. And
yeah,
that.
awesome.
Like, yeah,
awesome.
fine. I can. That's passable as Doctor Strange, right? But my problem is that he does like a Hugh Laurie, Doctor House, MD, like
American
trained the American accent. It's like
Don't
like
come to
I
me
can't watch
telling-
House for that very reason.
It's like
I can't watch House because it's terribly fucking written.
it's like someone sort of like gone up to Benedict Cumberbatch and gone, the accent is nearly there. Can you turn it up to 120%, please? Like it has to be 120% labored American
Accent.
And I just think what would have been less of a stretch would be if they just said Stephen Strange was an English doctor working in America.
Does it say that he Doctor Strange is American? Is that written?
It's assumed.
It would be assumed. It's like, what kind of accent does, I don't know, Bruce Wayne have?
Well,
probably American, because he kind of lives in America.
Yeah, it would be weird, I guess, if he came out as English.
But no one, there's never a point in a comic book, I don't think, where they sort of describe things like that. The Batman appeared, he had a strong New York accent.
What's a Gotham City accent? We don't know. Gotham City doesn't exist.
It's supposed to be New York, isn't it? Really, I guess.
Gotham City's based around New York, the whole that northeastern thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Gotham's supposed to be like New York, and Bloodhaven's supposed to be like New Jersey.
Yeah.
Just so we know, the Bald Marshal is now watching.
Oh.
He's now viewing live.
We've got the congregation. We are solving your problem, Jamie.
We are.
We're just firing Tom Cruise from Jack Reacher 4.
Yeah, and we're going to get a massive 6'5" guy with a 4.
So who would? I mean, I've never watched Jack Reacher. I've heard it's good.
Me neither.
I've seen him.
Are they good?
They're okay. He's small though. He's not someone who you would fear if he was coming at you.
I've never read the books though.
You just hold your arm out and he wouldn't be able to get to you.
Sorry.
Like this, and you
You can't catch me, gay thoughts. That's why he's always running.
Unrelated, or is that?
That's why he's always running.
Who's massive though? Who could you have that's massive that would do that role?
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Because The Rock beating the crap out of people, I think.
I read an article about The Rock today playing King Kamehameha in a film about Hawaii. Hawaii. And because he's Samoan, people are finding it very offensive.
Right. Because
the Samoans were sworn enemies of the Hawaiians around the period of King Kamehameha, which is like the 1800s.
Right.
So yes, there's so many things people can take exception to.
Jumping off your Rock idea, I'll tell you who was a surprising breath of fresh air in one of my favourite films from the last few years. Fucking Dave Bautista.
Dave Bautista needs to be in more films.
Why isn't he doing more films? Because he was fucking fantastic as Drax the Destroyer.
Guardians of the Galaxy. You watched it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. He's the big dude. Yeah. Dave Bautista, WWE. But
he was fantastic.
He was funny, wasn't he?
That's the sort of character you should be giving to these wrestlers. Like Dwayne The Rock Johnson is now more of an actor than he is a wrestler.
Yes.
Although he's been in.
But he always plays that kind of hands-on, fighty. I
don't know.
Guy.
He was in. He was quite funny, although I didn't find the entire film funny. That Pain and Gain with
Fast 7. Yeah.
Pain and Gain.
Yeah. Sorry. I was just.
Pain and Gain was a fucking good film.
It's okay. I mean, he was funny in it, but I didn't find the whole film.
He was a bodybuilder. That was the point of it.
Yeah, but like he's got a sense of humour to him.
Is Pain and Gain the one where they're Mark Wahlberg and they sort of bungle some robbery or something? Yeah. Okay.
It's kind of funny. They're both like a couple of meatheads who think they're like hard, yeah.
I think Jamie's saying that Dave Bautista, the baddie in the new James Bond.
Really?
True? He says, how about Dave Bautista, the baddie in new James Bond?
Is he?
I don't know. Is he?
I don't know. James Bond doesn't generally have like muscle-bound...
Jaws.
Well, Jaws, but he's not the main baddie, though, is he?
Tooth Fairy ? I think maybe he's just.
Oh, right. Dwayne The Rock Johnson was in a film called The Tooth Fairy where he becomes a Tooth Fairy.
That was quite early in the transition between wrestler and
take what you can get kind of.
Yeah, because Vin Diesel did that Pacifier.
Yeah.
Now that's a Disney Channel exclusive we all want to watch.
Vin Diesel should stay behind the microphone and never on screen. Because he's great in doing voiceover work.
Have you ever seen the Iron Giant?
Yeah,
Superman.
Iron Giant. Groot.
Yeah, I am Groot.
He's best at playing large animated characters that say a select amount of words.
Yeah.
But have you ever seen that video of him at like a toy trade show advertising Street Sharks? It was like really, really, really mega early in his career.
No.
Do you remember Street Sharks though?
No.
They were toys.
No, I've seen this. Yeah. I have seen this.
And he's
video,
like, with his rock and rip power, and he's like,
So
he's like
good.
Street
Yeah, I've seen
Sharks
that.
all
I've
over
seen
toys. If you haven't seen it, guys, please go and find it. It will brighten your day.
It is funny. Someone so serious as well.
Yeah, like someone you would consider to be
That's
like...
what he needs to stop doing though, because he's crap in all those films.
Yeah, I don't know. The newest Fast and Furious films are good
The
for
ones since The Rock
action-y.
joined, 5 onwards, have all been great.
They've been okay. I mean, they're watchable.
He ain't even watched them. He's shaking his head at.
Yeah, probably not.
Same
Have you
fucking
watched
thing every time.
Have you watched 5 onwards?
Why do I need to? It's the same thing. They drive
it changed
cars.
completely.
Actually, they
Changed
became
completely
pretty
from 5
passable
onwards.
action films after
Yeah,
that.
they've become like proper films, not just like guys
Do you
chasing
know
each other in
what? I
cars.
just don't really.
Not appealing to the American belief that driving a car stick shift, as they call it, is magic.
Yeah, it is magic, isn't it, for them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just action films in general I find to be quite crap unless you're talking Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah, well,
But even they even rinsed the shit out of that. Have you seen the last couple of them?
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
fucking hell.
Yeah.
Exactly. They just need to stop doing this shit.
But the good thing with the Fast and the Furious was that they were, like you say, they were boring fucking car films. And then even for me, like number 3 and number 4, what the fuck?
What about Tokyo Drift?
No, I didn't mind Tokyo Drift because of the drifting, but other than that,
It wasn't real drifting. It was all
there wasn't
CGI
really much
drifting.
drifting. No,
It was all CGI drifting.
It was.
These ones are actually more believable because they're actually using proper cars.
And they're actually throwing them between buildings.
Yeah, and shit like that.
But
It's
from
crazy.
5 onwards, there's actually a story to go with it, and there's actually a
The
plot.
story's pretty crap, but
Yeah,
it's
but
story.
there is one.
There is one.
Yeah, there is one at least, and it's not just about the cars. It's like about a heist. It's about defeating a baddie. It's about it's not just a gang rival
the
gang
Rock and
having
Vin
to race
Diesel
to win.
Really,
The Rock
because
and Vin Diesel like clothesline each other at the same time.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I can watch wrestling for that.
Oh, it's not the Rock and Vin Diesel, though, is it?
I'll tell you the only passable action film from the last 5 years, fucking Mad Max Fury Road.
That's not even an action film. That's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's got cars in it,
It's a
Ross.
journey film, isn't it?
No, Mad Max is a fucking action film. There's more action in that than there was in the fucking entirety of Fast 7. I'm sorry.
See,
Yeah, no,
this is what I need to do. So you and Dom are arguing against me because I'm saying that the Fast and the Furious films are crap. All I need to do is just put it into perspective for Dom. I'm like,
I love Mad Max.
What am I compared
Loved it.
against Mad Max? Fast and Furious is shit.
All shiny and chrome.
Oh, shiny and chrome.
No, I did love it. I've seen it a few times. I do love it.
I like that film.
It was weird. I was watching a film at my mum and dad's the other day. Troy. You remember Troy with Brad Pitt in it?
Oh, yeah.
And do you
Yeah.
remember the beginning where he comes out and he does the awesome jumpy stab
Yep.
to that big fella?
Yeah.
And we went, I wonder, and we were IMDbing all the people in that scene. Who's that? I can't remember him. He was like, it's Brian Cox. And then I was like, what about that big fella? I wonder if he's ever been in anything again. And the big fella that Brad Pitt stabs at the beginning of Troy is, I had a brother and he was perfect. That big fucking,
Oh, yeah?
Really?
like hench fella in Fury Road. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Yeah. There you go.
Wow.
Good to see you still getting work.
A fucking segue.
There it is.
The bald marshal is leaving us because he needs to go watch this week's Walking Dead. I think we should scrap this off.
Wants to go watch the Walking Boring.
Well, that's that then. We should put. So we're basically putting Tom Cruise into
Everything, yeah, yeah.
everything now.
That Jamie likes. No, he must go watch The Walking Dead. I don't know.
Walking Dead's so boring now.
I've had a. Jem really wants to watch it, and I don't have the heart because she doesn't listen to the podcast. So it's
Are you up to date with it all?
No. I'm in the middle of. I finished in the middle of season 5 and said I'm done
Yeah.
because it's just the same thing.
Yeah. And it's the same thing again now.
Do you know what? Do you know what it is with The Walking Dead? I get fatigue every series because they're so fucking long.
Yeah.
You could cut down every series of The Walking Dead to 9 episodes.
Do a montage.
No, you could do 9 There's, you know how people complain about Lord of the Rings and go, there was so much walking in that. That's the joke, isn't it? It was like they walked so much in
Yeah.
those films. I've never seen people walking and being snarky at each other more than I have on every Christmas walk I've ever taken in my entire fucking life. That's all it is. It's one long Christmas Day walk with your family, that with occasional zombies
Yeah.
and like actual things happening.
A little bit of super gore, and then it's
Yeah,
back
but
to
like,
people whinging again.
You know, it's the reason people get so fucking excited about a character dying on The Walking Dead. I do know who dies at the beginning of this series.
Because they just want it to be over.
No, because people get so excited because they're like, fucking hell, something actually happened on The Walking Dead.
Yeah. My girlfriend started watching it, and she's at the bit with the governor. And that's
Do you know
the
what? The
last
first 2
interesting bit.
seasons were worth what? Do you like it?
Yes, we are watching it. We are still watching it.
You enjoy it?
Are you not bored of it?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I'm very bored of it.
I just got so
Especially
burnt
this
out.
season where everyone's so upside down faced and whinging.
I got so bored towards the middle of season 5. I basically got to the bit where they got to Alexandria,
Yeah.
and then it was just
Yeah,
like,
you haven't missed anything. You could literally join it now.
Yeah,
and then like, and then they go like, oh, we're gonna get sneaky, and it's just like, yes, we all know no one's good in the world of The Walking Dead. It's all one grey area. Blah blah blah. Fucking nonsense. Oh, is Rick a good guy or is he a bad guy? Or is he just a man trying to make his way in the world? Oh, Carol, she's a survivor. Isn't Daryl cool? You know, it's just the same thing every goddamn fucking episode.
It is.
we are still watching it, and I think Maddie has caught on to the fact that I'm less sort of excited about watching it these days. I will still watch it because the thing is,
You've done such a
I've-
journey.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
the same with me.
it's-
I'm watching
it's-
it because I've watched it.
I've
The thing is, I started
invested
watching
in it
season
now.
1 to 5, and I was like, don't see what the fuss is
yeah,
about.
you probably made the best decision because now I'm stuck watching it, and you never know, it might get better again.
Oh god, yeah.
Like-
The thing that's why most people watch it.
Yeah, because
I
you
think-
kind of
they're
want,
waiting for it to get
They're
better.
waiting for it to get
you
better.
kind of
Yeah.
want to go back to those first few seasons.
The thing is, it was all fresh then, and then they just rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those first few seasons were a lot of standing around and whinging, but it was all new, wasn't it? But
It's
now,
all new stuff.
You can't save him, Rick.
that's it.
Carl, pulling his hair back every goddamn fucking
He
time.
still fucking does that now.
Andrew fucking Lincoln.
Who the fuck is Coral? That's what I want to know. We still,
Carl. Also, the kids should die because they just held up the entire thing.
I do not like Coral.
Coral. But yeah, that's
hate
my
his
take.
hair.
Do you know what been the biggest fun for me? I know I don't watch the same amount of TV as most people do because I don't not watch Luke Cage and I've watched Jessica Jones. Haven't finished the second season of Daredevil. Stopped watching Game of Thrones because I just got bored. But
You know your palms are going to start growing hair.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
What a breath of fresh air that was.
good.
Don't say anything. It's next on the watch list.
No, I really enjoy. I'm not going to say anything about the story. I'm just going to say
Just something different, wasn't it?
Do you know what? 8 episodes, an hour each, perfect.
Yeah, it was. And there was something
And it-
going on the whole time.
There was something going on in every episode, and every episode had a point.
Yeah.
Well, this goes back to my whole argument that I know that I've brought up on the podcast before, that films are too long now. Like when going back
Except
10,
for Force Awakens.
go back
it's just
10,
long
10,
now.
15 years, films were hour and 3/4 long. A long film was 2 hours long.
Yeah. But since Lord of the Rings, have you noticed, ever since Lord of the Rings, it's okay to make 3.5 hour movies.
But it's not okay to make
No.
3.5 hour movies because it's just, I mean, like,
Do you know why it is?
up to a
Because
certain
people
point,
wanna feel
if it's a really fantastic film, I can deal with a 2.5 hour.
Yeah. 2.5 hours, I think, is optimum for the long movie.
You've
Yeah.
got to be confident that your story's fucking good, though, haven't you?
The thing is, though, it's gone in line with how expensive going to the cinema has become. Because people want to feel like they're getting
Getting an evening out.
given an evening
But the thing
out.
is, like,
Because an hour and a half, it ain't even out.
yeah, maybe that's, maybe they're concentrating on
That's genuinely why the trend is.
maybe they're concentrating on these things too much because it's like when you buy a book and you pay good amount of money for it, and it's a good book. You do not resent paying that money for it, whether it's short, long, whatever.
No, that's very true.
like
That's very true.
Like I think of some of the best quality movies that I've been to see in the last, say, 5 years. Like obviously Mad Max,
That was a short one, wasn't
which
it?
was pretty
It
short.
was like 90 minutes, was it?
pretty straight to the fucking point, wasn't it?
Always fucking. It's like
Hit
an
the ground
adrenaline.
running, didn't it?
It is like taking an entire bag of cocaine, pouring it over your face,
Yeah.
and going.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then going, because it literally just starts with him going, and starting to fucking run, doesn't it?
Tell you one of my also another one of my favorite movies from the last few years, the Lego Movie.
I fucking love that film. Absolutely love it. My girlfriend hates it.
Do you know what? Gems comes to the point where I've watched it so much now she hates it.
Tom Cruise would have been great in that.
It would have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Just the right size.
Everything is awesome. Everything is.
Yeah.
I remember the bit that got me at the very beginning of the film where he's sitting in his house and he's just getting ready in the morning and the news is on and it's like, Taco Tuesday mandatory, or is it, or what he says something about like, or extermination or a certain death. He goes,
Yeah,
"What?"
yeah.
Like that. He goes, huh? That bit for me cracked me up.
Yeah, man.
And then from that point, I was hooked. I loved the film.
Oh,
Absolutely
the
love
pirate's my favourite character. It's played by Ron Swanson.
Yeah, yeah.
it. Batman was good as well, though, wasn't he?
Oh, well,
Yeah,
they're making
yeah.
an entire fucking movie out of
Have
it.
you seen the trailers for that?
Yeah.
See, again,
Oh, my God, nice.
that looks fantastic. You know,
It's the most faithful Batman movie in years.
yeah. Whenever a Pixar film is released, right, they have got the method. Like it is.
Except for Cars 2. And in my mind, WALL-E.
I
Didn't like WALL-E.
I haven't seen either of those.
The bit with the humans is quite fun, I guess, but in WALL-E.
fine.
That's the second klaxon. I've
The
done,
second,
done
yeah.
the first, and now when Ross
Working
does
on number 3.
when Ross does the third, that'd be our Wagamama's making its second appearance.
Oh, yes. Ross did bring us Sorry Wagamamas.
It wasn't
This
Sorry
evening.
Wagamamas.
It was
It was
just...
just Wagamamas.
Brought it all the way from the Orient.
I did, yes.
Yes. Wagamamas in the Orient's very different.
Yeah, it was a bit cold by the time I got here.
Yeah. Chilly, in fact.
Yeah, hour and a half, hour and 3/4 movie, bish bash bosh. Done. Lego movie, great. Disney movies, short, sweet,
Read the
to
bottom
the
one.
point.
He's trying to fucking creep us out.
What?
Fuck off.
Oh no, he's fucking with us.
What's that one?
He said, who just walked past that door at the back of the room?
Fuck off. Who's that?
That's Jamie Linney.
Oh, you fucker.
You fucker. He's
You
just trying to
absolute
freak us.
fucker.
He's actually got me though, because I'm a little bit freaked out now.
I am a
Shut the
little
door.
bit freaked out as well. What's the door going to do? You could just open the door.
Yeah, but we'd hear the door
Yeah,
opening.
and we'd be ready. Right? There you go.
Ah! I'm not joking.
Just a face at the window.
Did you make sure you shut the front door, by the way?
Yeah.
Slammed it.
Yeah, I slammed it shut.
You have to slam it.
I slammed it.
Do you want to go check it?
No. You go and check it.
You go check it.
Dom, you go and check it.
Fucking that fart
Dom's
smell.
actually going to check it. I know he's released the fart from the chair now.
Oh, God.
Dom is currently in
Oh, it's fucking closed.
swan stance.
He knows that we can watch this back later, right? And if there's actually a person walking around the back of the room,
I'm not watching this back.
no.
100% not, because
Never watching this back.
because I spend mornings here often in the dark by myself.
Well, there's not going to be a ghost on the fucking industrial estate, is there?
Well, it's not going to be a ghost, but it might be a hammer murderer.
Well, it could be. Well, a little bit more defeatable than a poltergeist.
Yeah.
Not if he's got 2 hammers.
No, well, 2 hammers. See you later. Through the
It's
window.
Ross just down the stairs.
Sorry, guys.
You'd be surprised how fast this fat man can run when he's
Chased by a man with a hammer.
when he's being chased by a hammer.
More concerned, he might be scratching my car up.
Good point.
Yeah.
It's true with the claws.
Yeah.
The claw part. It's a claw hammer.
Well, now that is putting the willies up me.
No, not my precious kid.
So how are we solving this problem? We're going to go for some sort of online poll.
Well, how else would you solve it?
I don't know.
There isn't really.
Get the author. You actually that scared?
No, he just said a weird face on the set. I seriously think he's high.
Who?
I said he was high earlier, didn't I?
Who? Jamie Linney?
Yeah. He said weird face on the ceiling. It's all that fucking running you've been doing, buddy.
Weird face on the ceiling.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Can't even see the ceiling.
You've been running too much and not hydrating. That's your
Yeah.
problem. That's your problem right there.
Get
You're
some
starting to hallucinate.
electrolytes in you.
I don't like this.
I don't
Have
like
a
this at
fucking
all.
Lucasade. Calm yourself down.
I don't think we should
You're seeing
live stream
things.
now ever. It's freaked me out.
It's freaking me out.
It's because it's later than normal. We don't normally live stream.
Have you got
later,
one?
do we?
Did you buy?
What?
Is that the GoPro here ectoplasm for?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That looks.
Oh, I
that
see,
looks,
okay.
that looks
So you
funny.
can see poltergeist. Its poltergeist setting is on.
Yeah.
So you
yeah.
can see into other realms.
Oh, that's all right.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's just an alternative reality. And we're actually packing up and going home now.
Oh yeah.
Because we didn't get talking about
we
war before the podcast.
Didn't have the Wagamamas.
I see. Excellent. Well,
We should probably wrap up now that I'm freaked out, so I can go home and get under my covers.
yeah,
Yeah.
same here.
Where's my dog when I need
So
it?
the online poll is what we're sort of going on.
We're gonna go for an online
It was
poll.
just an excuse for us to moan about movies.
Yeah, a little
Thanks
bit.
for that,
Yeah.
Jamie. Wait for the new podcast, see if it flicks. Every Wednesday.
And the other new podcast, see if it's really a ghost behind us.
Yeah. See if it most stick it. What most haunted? How could we put a pun on most haunted? But see if it sticks. See if it spooks.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait for the new episode. See if it spooks. What are we going to name it? We came up with a name earlier.
Truth, something and ham.
Justice, and
and Rum Ham.
Rum
Rum Ham,
Yeah.
Truth, Justice and
It
Rum
should
Ham.
be Truth, Justice and Rum Ham.
Truth,
Yeah.
Justice, and Rum Ham.
We could. I was just going to say though, I've been reading that cold reading book recently. So basically, I am as qualified as any psychic in the world.
Do a psychic reading now. Come on. Can you do one?
No.
We'll know he's cold reading.
I could prepare one.
Yeah?
I could prepare one.
Okay, I'd like to be cold read. And I'm
Okay.
willing to go with it. I'm not
Okay.
going to fight you on it.
All right.
I will.
Okay.
No, I won't fight you
I'll
on it.
fight you with all
I'd
the
fight a real
powers of
one
my
all
mind.
the way, but
All right.
you know, if you're gonna,
Fight
if
you
I
with
knew it was,
all the
I'll go with
powers.
it.
But I'll give you some of the stick. Some point I'll prepare a little like a little astrological reading for you or something.
Oh,
I'll read your stars.
I'm a Cancer, just so you know. Save you on a little bit of research. On
Mars is currently in your
Facebook.
anus, and that's creating a lot of tension at home. And Saturn tells me that you've been on a journey, possibly to the Orient.
It's a bit easier with me. You know everything about me. So
Actually, when you say that, Venus is currently
In ascendant.
no is in Ross's third quadrant,
Mm.
which means that there's a good chance that
never certain.
there's
Yeah.
been maybe some sort of change or maybe not necessarily controversy, but maybe something different at work recently. There seems to be like maybe someone has.
So vague, isn't it? It could be anything.
Well, it could be like, maybe a change of position for you, or maybe someone around you that you deal with quite a lot has changed position, or
It's so vague,
anything
isn't
like
it?
that.
That could literally
Shit
apply
that
to anyone.
literally happens all the time.
yeah,
To
it could
everyone.
be someone that you live with. Maybe anyone sort of changed. Anything new going on at work? Anyone in your house?
Well, yeah, that applies.
Anyone in your street? Has anyone in Kent changed jobs recently? I might be getting you. I'm getting a Mike or a Michael.
Begins with an M at least. Martin, Michael.
Mindy.
Oh my God! Why has no one got a new job in Kent, and was no one named with an M name in Kent? Yeah, I'll do a cold.
I'm getting a Dave.
Dan.
So I'm feeling an energy coming from you. Perhaps have you recently been in a car, or perhaps
Yes.
some sort of conveyance?
I was in a car.
Right. You were.
I was.
While you were in the car.
Yeah, my Astra.
Yeah, Astra. That's exactly what I'm getting, Astra. So it's just like being a salesman. Oh God, he's having a stroke. No.
Yeah.
Music.
The poltergeist has taken him.
Music. It was loud, and there were drums in it. Was it some form of rock music, perhaps?
Have I listened to podcasts this week?
No. Perhaps you were listening to a podcast about music.
Not really.
Music in the podcast. Perhaps
There was a little bit of music in the podcast.
The intro music.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
That's obviously what I'm getting.
Dom hasn't even read the book, and he can literally do it.
Yeah.
That's because it's just basically being
Yeah.
a salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's leading people down the guard to a conclusion that you want them to lead them to.
Oh, it's gone really off-piste.
Yes, anyway, the Truth, Justice and Rum Ham. So, remember, you can find us at stickitpod.com, where you can find links to all of our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, occasionally Bebo, maybe MySpace.
Hotel.
Habbo Hotel, YouTube. Ross just threw a flying saucer,
Trying to get it in
sherbet
your mouth while
saucer.
you're talking.
Don't do it.
Do you not like them?
Well, no, I like them, but I don't want it in my mouth while I'm doing the outro.
Okay.
I don't want it. Anyway, yeah.
It was Maxis, Dan.
We have an email address. Stop it! Fling it at stickitpod.com, where you can send all your problems, complaints, Dan mail, fan mail. I just caught it in my hand though. Everything that you possibly might want to get into contact with us, please do. Your content generates this podcast. If you enjoy us, tell your friends. Perhaps drop us a review on iTunes. It does help with our visibility. Bring more of you into the fold, so to speak. Once again, thank you so much for listening this week. I've been Dom.
I've been Ross.
And I've been Dan.
Rum Ham!